Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, February 28th. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So let me get this room set up and then we'll get started with our session today to officially kick off the trading week. So 1 second, guys. Let me just finish getting this uploaded. Looks like we're good there. Good. All right, cool. So it looks like everything is good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium, and then we'll get started with our session for the day. Here we go. All right, guys, cool. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Today is Monday, February 28th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So we'll get started shortly. Just let people join the room real quick. And then we'll kick off this trading week. Morning, Ruben. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Miles. Morning, everybody. Kind of choppy conditions right here on open, but we'll see what happens when the market officially does open in the next 6 minutes or so. So let's take a look first at retail sentiment. Looking over at retail sentiment today, it is currently 58% long, 42% short. So we definitely have a bearish bias today with regard to retail sentiment. It's not very strong, but it is majority is long. So we're definitely looking for sells today, possibly. Looking over at the fundamentals, currently now the fundamentals are down 412 points. Big drop after the updates with the Ukraine, Russia war. I don't know if there's been any other updates, but pretty much the entire indexes are all red. The Dow's down 420 points, S&P's down 55 points, Nasdaq's down 150 points. Oil is slightly up 3 points, and the 10-year bond is down about 2%. So it's pretty solid for the most part. Also looking over here at technicals, the 1 minute is bearish. 3 minutes also bearish, 5 minutes bearish, and lastly the 10-minute over here is bearish as well. Reason for that is because the 10 minutes more so indecisive, but on the shorter time frames it is moving towards the bearish bias. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here for us to look at. Let's see, I'm gonna let everybody into the room. Hey Miles, morning Brenda, morning Maria, morning Matt, morning Fudme, morning Jay, morning Patricia, morning Nick, morning Lisa, morning Barack, morning Rick, morning Al, morning Mauricio, morning Jazz, morning everybody. Morning Sterling. So we got a question over here from Jay's asking if I think it will close that big gap on open. I mean, possibly. There's no guarantee that it'll happen, but I mean, you know, quite possibly. Let me see, the gap on open was over here. Thought I filled already, or no, might be wrong. So it tried to fill some of it right here. It looks like during London session, it tried to push up a little bit, but then it came back down. I don't think the market's going to go up today. Technically, the market did drop because of the Ukraine and Russia stuff going on over the weekend. And the thing is, the market's officially opening today, like within the next few minutes. So when it does open, you're going to get a lot of the people who didn't get in during yesterday's market. So people are barely getting in today. People are going to be chasing that drop. That's why you're probably going to expect some manipulation, because if everyone thinks price is going to drop, obviously prices can be manipulated to the upside, stop everyone out, and then come back down, right? So I'd be very careful today entering trades. Also, just an FYI, thanks Patricia for letting us know. But if you guys are using social trader tools for your copier, I guess there's an issue with them. I think they were running maintenance over the weekend, and they probably messed with some of the data. So I did turn off all my copiers. I just have one account running right now. You guys probably want to turn off your copiers as well if you're using my social trader tools. Other than that, let's see. Brock's asking one quick one. What lot size would you consider on a 25K FT1 count? So we get the same question every time, guys. There's no set lot size to be using. The lot size depends on your stop loss. If your stop loss is wider, you'll have a smaller lot size. If your stop loss is tighter, you'll have a bigger lot size, right? There's no specific number that you're going to be using for every single trade. Each trade is going to be different depending on where your stop loss is. So it's yeah, Brock. I mean, if you have more specifics, we can go over that. But I mean, it's going to vary depending on what type of. Yeah, thanks, Solange. So Solange put it right there. He said 1.25 lot on 25K count, 5 lot on 100K count. But it just depends on what your stop loss is looking like. If your stop loss is tighter, like 300 pips or so, then it would it'd be wider. But if it's bigger, like 500 pips or more, like if you're taking a daily trade, it's gonna require that you use a smaller lot size. All right, guys. Morning, Fahad. Morning, Maddie. Morning, everybody. So let's see. Market is opening in about 2 minutes, guys. So let me mark up the liquidity over here real quick. So we got liquidity right there. Liquidity right there. Right there. Right there, and possibly. All right, so that's all liquidity that I see for now. Here, market is going to open in about a minute, guys. So when the market does open, we'll confirm what the bias is. We're obviously looking for sells today, but if the bias does change, which it can, we'll switch. There's some liquidity sitting right here, which looks pretty nice. If it hits this, it'll probably drop even further. All right, let's get market is going to open in about 20 seconds. So I'll mark up the clean chart over here as well, or I'll come back to that later. Let's just focus on this right now because the market is right about to open. I don't recommend taking the breakout if you guys are looking to take it today. Monday is probably like one of the more riskier days to take it, but I will tell you if the breakout does come up. So if this candle right here closes as a strong red candle, this would technically be the breakout, and you guys can see it hit liquidity and it dropped right down to the next level right here. Pretty much where we anticipated it to drop to. It might drop to this next level or it might swing back up, who knows, but it is moving in the direction of our bias. And a lot of this are just pending orders sitting from the weekend because a lot of people obviously are trying to enter some sells, and you can see now it's swinging right back up. Yeah, and Matt said that there was a pivot scalp 1 minute right there off that red candle, which hit full TP as well. So we'll see where it goes from here. I don't think that you guys should chase this. Like I mentioned earlier, guys, this would technically have been the breakout, the previous candle right here. But it's just a bit risky. It looks like it got close to the profit target, but didn't necessarily hit it. Now it's back in some heavy drawdown. So this is why I don't recommend taking the breakout, specifically on Mondays, because you get stuff like this, where you get a lot of manipulated price movement. Let's see. All right, so as price moves around this area, I'm going to go and just draw the liquidity over here on the clean chart because we don't have anything necessarily to follow over here. We're going to wait for some sort of confirmation as to direction of price, and then from there we will start looking for trades in that direction. Obviously, our bias is going to be a sell, but we're going to be a bit patient with the direction here. So we go down right there. I'm going to go and delete some of this stuff. Right, we also have news coming up at 6:45, guys. So just keep that in mind. So let me delete these. I'm going to put a line at opening price. Market open right here at 6:30. So this is going to be opening price. Clean this up right here. We have news coming up right here at 6:45. I'm gonna be a bit careful with that. 7 o'clock. All right, so price is below opening price right here. If we get a confirmation of price to continue dropping, then we'll be looking for, we are looking for sells. Looking over at the retail sentiment is currently 59% long. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently 468 points in the red. So we're definitely looking for sells today. As you guys can see from the stock index, it's completely red here as well. So literally the entire stock index is completely red. So we're definitely looking for sells. We just want to confirm that price is actually moving in that direction before we start entering some trades, because I could expect some manipulation to happen due to the obviousness of the sells here. Like it's like completely obvious that price should be coming down. You're probably gonna see some manipulation to the upside and then a drop back down. But currently right now, no entries. So I guess we'll just be waiting a bit until direction has been confirmed. But we are looking for sells. So if we do see some sells, then I'll mark them up and I'll let you guys know. But I think right now you probably want to wait for a better confirmation. Like you kind of want to wait for the manipulated push to the upside first and then let it come down. Because if you just take it right now, it's probably going to spike right back up. One thing to look out for is going to be this liquidity area right here. If price hits liquidity right here, it's probably going to drop even further. Or it might be a fake out. So that's one thing to also take note of, because it might come down, hit it, pull back a little bit, and then drop back down for a retest. The retest is probably going to be the entry point for the sell there. I wouldn't enter it on the first test. Here we go. As price starts to push up, this is fine because we need there you go. See, there's the manipulated push that we were just talking about. Everything's pointing toward the sell. So price should not be going up, but it will be going up because I do expect price to be manipulated right now, especially if everyone's expecting a sell, because this is all red. Sentiment's 59% long. Technicals are red here too. So as you guys can see, it's coming up. People are probably getting stopped out here, and then it's going to come right back down because it pushed up about 500 pips. Yeah, exactly. So it says Ukraine is not ready to surrender or calculate to Russia, Foreign Minister says. The Russian ruble plunges 30% against the dollar. Ukraine is ready to continue seeking diplomatic solution, but Ukraine is not ready to surrender of capital. All right, so the war is still going to be going on, obviously, but they're looking to negotiate. So as you can see right here, price is pushing up. It's that manipulated push that we were looking for. Now we're pretty much just going to wait for it to come back down. All right, so there we go. As price pushes up, pretty much what we were expecting. Price came back to retest this area. And this is why you guys don't want to hop into the trade just yet, because you can get caught in this that's weird. Looks like TradingView kind of froze up for a bit. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, TradingView is frozen for me too. I don't know what's going on with the TradingView, but it's frozen right now. Refresh mine. I see it's still moving on MT4. It's coming back down on MT4. Yeah, that's weird. Today isn't a holiday, it's 28th. Let's see, I'll refresh it. Mine's still frozen, so it's still not working. Yeah, Randy, that happened last week because it was a holiday. Today's not a holiday though, so it shouldn't be happening today. Yeah, I guess all we can do is just wait. But I'm looking at MT4. MT4 is just, it's bouncing around the same area where it is right now. It hasn't really moved much. It's now pushing up higher. Yeah, it's just currency.com, it looks like right now. Which is weird. Seems like there's a lot of issues going on today. There's issues with the copier. There's also issues with currency.com. Let's see. MT4 is working too. It's just currency.com data. So if it doesn't refresh anytime soon, we'll probably I'll use Almada for now. So I'll just switch over to that for now. Just currently, I don't recommend using it all the time, but currently is kind of all that we can use at the moment. So let me just refresh everything here. All right, V1. All right, and just keep in mind, guys, we're not looking to force any trades. So if you guys see anything right now, I don't recommend entering it. Let me go back over here. I'll keep going back between currency.com and Oanda. It's still frozen here, but anyways, back to Oanda over here. Price is still pushing up. As you can see, it's the same thing that I was just discussing earlier and warning you guys about. You're going to see some manipulation in the chart before it comes down, because it's obviously supposed to come down. I mean, if you guys look at everything else, everything is pretty much all red. Stock index is completely red. All the stocks are red right now. Fundamentals are completely red. Retail sentiment's currently 59% long, so over 60% long. So price should definitely be coming back down. I don't recommend you guys chase any of these moves here. Wait for it to come back down. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to come back down, come back for a retrace, and then continue down further. So it's just gonna be a matter of time. We have news coming up as well at 6:45 in about 5 minutes. So I'll be a bit careful. We have news right here, Chicago PMI, which is medium news. Something to obviously look out for. But here it goes, price starts to come back down. So we were going to get caught in that fake out. Now price is coming back down. We'll see if it confirms below, and then we can start looking for some sells. We just want the direction to be set and for it to be established. There it goes. Price starts to drop further. Yeah, exactly. Price is going back to opening price, which is right over here. There we go. Price rejected right off opening price. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much waiting for it to close below. So if it closes below, we'll look for the retest and then see if it continues to drop down lower. News is coming up in about 3 minutes though, so I'd probably wait a bit until the news is done. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for price to come below opening price, possibly come back for the retest and continue drop. But as you can see right here, price isn't really doing that. It's kind of just going back and forth within this area. We have another low that's been established right here. So it's just a matter of patience, guys. Just wait for it and confirm, confirm the direction first before you guys enter. The direction is obviously going to be a sell, but currently right now it's not. It hasn't come down yet, and you can see the big wicks on these candles. Very indecisive direction of price. Yeah, exactly. Talon, you said sessions above might get some funky manipulation. I agree. All right, so news is coming up in about 2 minutes, guys. Here, let's see. The currency.com data is still not working. We're still on the Wanda right now, so we'll just use this temporarily until it picks back up. But yeah, wacky market today. Might be another red flag that the market's gonna be moving weird. All right. So news is coming up in about a minute. Looking over at the other time frames, it looks like there's a possible V3 coming up over here, or it's not even open actually. The Yeah, it hasn't come up yet. Matt's asking why don't I like Owanda data because it's not accurate. Like I've tried all the datas before. Owanda is usually, well, Owanda's probably the second better one, but currency.com has been the best one ever since. I've been using these for like years, so I know which one's like accurate, which one isn't. You'll get different data points. That the indicators don't work the same on each data, so it just depends on which data you're using. But I've checked the data on both Owanda and currency.com with back testing. It works better on currency.com. You get a lot of invalid momentum signals on Owanda. Yeah, Jonathan said, wouldn't mind if it goes up to the sessions and rejects off. And that's kind of what I'm anticipating too, because obviously price is going to be manipulated all throughout the session. It's not going to be a smooth move. This is kind of why I don't like when price is so obvious, like when everyone thinks it's going to drop, because when it's like that, you get a lot of room for manipulation because everyone's trying to sell. Obviously, the market makers want to stop out all the sellers before they actually drop it. And that's why you want to wait for the confirmation. You want price to actually come back below opening price right here. Possible retest, and then confirmation of a drop from there. All right. Thanks, Solange. Yeah, so Solange confirmed that news was negative. Gotcha. Okay. So we'll see how price reacts to news as well. So news happened right here. I'll draw another line. News happened right here at 6:45. You can see that when news did happen, price did slightly drop a bit. So reaction to the news was in the direction of its outcome, but it might be coming right back up. So a couple areas to look out for. This is news price, and then obviously down here is opening price. But we are expecting price to come back down. It's just going to be a matter of time till it does. If you just look at how price is currently moving right now, there's no clear direction. Price is now currently ranging within this high and this low. What you kind of want to wait for is for price to either break above it or break below it. In our case, we want it to break below, but it can keep pushing up higher if it likes. It'll just give it a sweeter drop as it comes down eventually with time. That's a pretty slow Monday. I was expecting price to actually be a little crazy today because of all the news from the war, but it's actually pretty slow today. Well, not really slow, but it's not really moving directional like I was expecting. I was expecting like some crazy spikes, like a manipulated spike up and then come right back down. Right now, it's just ranging within this area. All right, so we get another low here, which is fine. As you can see, price is starting to range a bit tighter. So as you can see, price is starting to squeeze right here. We have the low right here from the day, the high right there, and it's getting tighter as price continues to move along. And you can see right here where price is rejecting from. It's rejecting right off the news price. Just things to keep an eye out for. Orion's asking, would you consider the 5-minute V3 a good trade? So I don't consider anything a good trade right now because we're still waiting for price to finish its move. I don't know if you're, let me go on the other chart here, guys, because it's not updating on. So if you're talking about this one right here, you can see that there's no clear direction. I mean, if you look at the 5-minute and you look back at the 1 minute, it's still going to be the same thing. This technically would have hit CP already. I don't know if you're updating your charts, Orion, because I don't know if you're looking at the one that's frozen, because everyone keeps asking about the 5-minute here, but the 5-minute here on currency.com hasn't updated in like the last 10 minutes. So I don't know if you guys are all looking at this here. It hasn't updated. The last time this was updated was at 640, 650 right now, or 635. If you guys are looking at the actual one that's updating right now, that trade actually came, 10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago. So I wouldn't consider it a good trade because it's the same thing that we're looking at on the one. It doesn't make a difference if you're on the higher time frame. We're still waiting for the manipulated push to the upside. It doesn't matter if you're on the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 1 hour, daily. We're still waiting for it to push up before we confirm the push to the downside. So I would consider any trades that you guys are looking for to take right now a bit risky. I would wait for, because you can see right here on the one, it's still pushing up. You want to wait for it to actually confirm that price is going to be coming down. Because the last thing I want to do is get caught in a trade, and it'll probably play out for you. Like if you do take a trade, it'll probably play out, or you'll probably just go into some drawdown before it comes down. But I would want to wait for it to actually confirm the push down, because the last thing you want to do is get caught in a climb right here as price climbs higher, and then it comes back down, because eventually it's going to come back down. It has to come back down. There's no reason for it to be pushing up like this. Obviously people are just buying the dip, but everything is pointing towards a sell. I mean, if you look at the fundamentals over here, they're currently down 400 points. It just doesn't make any sense for price to be pushing up like that. Looking over here at the actual stock index, it's completely red. So obviously you can see that push to the upside is not, it's not a legitimate push, because in order for it to push up like that, these stocks would have to be green. They've been red pretty much since open right here, this blue line, and price is just slightly pushing up. So I would I will wait for a confirmation here before I look to take any trades. Because you obviously want to be safe and sorry, especially on a day like this. Coming back from the weekend and then the war stuff going on as well. But I do expect it to come down. It's just going to be a matter of time. All right, 652 right now. It's probably one of the slowest markets or slowest Mondays we've dealt with in a while. But we'll keep waiting. As you can see, price is starting to create liquidity up here. There's one area of liquidity right here. So if price does hit liquidity, it might push up and test the sessions up here before it comes down. But we'll see. All right, so price is hitting liquidity right here. Let's see if it breaks through. Looks like it is. It might come up and test the sessions right here. There you go, the rejection off the sessions. Might push it to the next one up here. So as you guys can see, it played out exactly like we anticipated. I said if price was going to hit liquidity right here, it's probably going to push up, test the sessions right there, and then come back down. That's pretty much what's happening. Clean rejection off the sessions, which is the New York high from yesterday. Yeah, thanks, Longy. Yeah, Longy said perfect analysis. And the thing with these patterns, guys, is that they repeat themselves. They happen all the time. So this is why I'm able to identify these things, because we see this every day. And I trade live every day. So it's like nothing really changes. You just adjust with the market. If the market gives you something, you kind of predict what's going to happen next, especially with this here. So what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for price to come back down. Price needs to come back below here, retest, and then drop below here. If I could sneak in maybe one or two trades, it's gonna be perfect, because that's all I really need. You're just waiting for these perfect entries here. And there you go with that big drop. Oh, I wouldn't take the buy though. Yeah, it's one, you say curveball. We just got a 3-minute buy straight to stop loss. Yeah, for sure would not have taken that. And this is why you guys want to trade with the bias at all times. You guys don't want to be trading both ways. And you guys can, it's possible to win both ways, but you definitely want to trade with the bias, or else you're going to get caught in these fake outs. And here we go, this price starts to come down lower. Kenny's asking what happened. All I see is your cartoon face. I'm not sure. Seems like there's like issues with a lot of things today. There's issues with YouTube. There's issues with the currency.com data. I guess issues with the Zoom now. All right, Maddie said a 1 minute. Yeah, this was a 1 minute V1, but it's just too risky. I'm not looking to enter this right here because I think it's too big of a push. So yeah, Maddie is right. This is technically a V1 right here, but I'm still waiting for the market to confirm the direction. It hasn't confirmed it yet. I'm waiting for it to come below here before I start looking for trades, because price can easily just come right back up. So let me just delete this here, clean it up a bit. This high is going to get moved over here. And technically this is a V1, but I'm not in the trade, so we'll follow it. If it does come below here, then, which it probably will eventually, if it does come below there, then this would be a confirmation of the bias back to the downside. Looks like we have one over here for the 3 minute as well. It's weird that like it hasn't fixed yet or updated. Switch this to Onda real quick. so there's one over here off of 3-minute as well. But as I was saying earlier, guys, I'm not looking to take any trades yet until we have the confirmation of the drop below. There he goes. Price starts to push back up. That's exactly what I'm waiting for the confirmation. I'm not hopping just yet. If you hopped in there, you'd be, I mean, honestly, if I was in this trade right here, I'd be pretty stressed out. Because the thing is, it hasn't really confirmed that it's coming down yet. It's going to come down eventually. But, you know, as I mentioned, we're just going to be waiting for it. All right. So we have another low that's been established right here. I kind of want new lows to get established so we can create liquidity on the bottom side. So if it does hit liquidity, it can drop even further. But yeah, this trade's still running. So as a reminder, guys, I'm not in this position. This is a V3, but we're waiting for it to come down below here. I'm not looking to take any trades until it confirms that the bias has shifted. It hasn't shifted yet. And as I was mentioning earlier, if I was in this trade, I'd be stressing out because price isn't really going where it's supposed to go yet. You can see the manipulation is still not done yet. The reason why we consider this manipulation is because everything is red. Literally, the entire stock index is completely red. There's one stock or two stocks that are slightly green, not very much. Looking over at fundamentals, it's currently down 410 points. Looking over at retail sentiment, it's currently 60% long. So everything is pointing towards a sell. But you can see that price isn't necessarily moving in the direction that it needs to right now. It's kind of just bouncing around until it confirms. All right, so as you can see, price is coming back up to test the sessions. It's pretty much what we were anticipating. We're still waiting for it to confirm to the downside. So this is why I haven't taken any sells yet, guys, because price is still being manipulated to the upside. Once it confirms that it's going to be coming down and continuing to come down, that's when I'm going to start looking for sells. But you can see the price is pretty messy right now. It's not really going very directional at all. All right. All right, here we go. As price attempts to make its way back down. Let's see, it keeps rejecting off the news price. So this pink line right here is the news price from earlier today, 645. And now it's breaking below. The main thing that I'm looking for is if price breaks below the opening price right here, this blue dotted line. This is where I'm going to confirm that the bias is now shifted back to a sell bias. At the moment right now, this is, I just feel like price is being propped up for no reason. When it does come back down, and you're going to confirm that price is actually going to continue dropping lower. What a slow day. I was expecting price to, let's see, the range right now is I guess it's not really that slow. I mean, it's been moving like about 1,400 pips. It's a lot slower than normal though. It's usually pushing like at least 2,000, 3,000 pips. So it is kind of slow here. It's just kind of ranging within this area. I think once it does confirm its direction, it's just going to start dumping. Like for example, right here, when it comes down and confirms that it's going to continue dropping, it's just going to start dumping. But it's just a matter of patience until it confirms. The 3-minute over here, nothing over here right now. Nothing on the 5 either. Main focus is going to be the 1. Prices dropped below the news price. See for retest and continues to drop lower. Oops, wrong tool. And there we go, as price starts to drop. So there you go, as price starts to drop. We just need to confirm that it's going to keep dropping. And it's not just going to be another fake out back to the upside. Totally random. Maybe it's selling some MDF in the chat. All right, so let's go back over here. Here goes, price starts to drop lower. It still hasn't confirmed. I'm waiting for it to drop below this blue line. Once it drops below this blue line, I'll have a better confirmation. Currently, right now, we don't have that yet. Nice. Looks like some of you guys did lock into profits over here. So we got Tiana over here with 1,474 for the day. Nice work, Tiana. We got Maddie over here locked in a total of 2,615. Nice. Yeah, I just want to count today for me too, Maddie. I took one trade pre-market. I made about like $500, but that was pretty much about it. Let's see this over here. Let's see some more profits over here by Jason. So Jason put in his profits right here, locked in a total of 2,831. Nice work, Jason. Let's see his other account right here, 2,831. Rest might be the same one. Yeah. And then Dell over here locked in a total of 849. So nice work, guys. To kick off the trading week, I did take one pre-market move, but that was about it. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. Hey, Steven, morning. So basically what I'm looking for here, guys, is I'm looking for price to come below this blue line. Same analysis. It's starting to make its way down. Once it comes down or retests this area and comes down lower, then I'm definitely going to start looking for some sells because it's going to start to choose its direction. Currently, at the moment, it hasn't done that yet. But when it does, we'll be ready to take some sells as we get more entries from there. It's 7:05 right now. So as it gets closer to 8, it becomes a bit more risky. Unfortunately, market hasn't really been moving that much for us to take any entries or any official entries at least. So hopefully we can lock one in before 8 o'clock. All right, so let's see. Price is making its way down. It hasn't confirmed yet below the opening price. But it is on its way down. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said it's creating more lows, which is what we want because it'll create more liquidity areas down there. Yeah, Jonathan said if it closes below the sell signal, below opening price, that'd be nice. Yeah, no, definitely. Right here, let me see. Price is now pushed a little lower, which is better because it's creating liquidity right here. As you guys can see, we have a liquidity right here for possible sell if it comes below here. I mean, we're still waiting for it. So this whole move here that I marked up, so the rejection from this point, drop below here. We need to drop below this line for me to really confirm that that bias has started to shift to the sell. But as you can see, market is just playing around at the moment. It hasn't really pushed down that low. One thing to keep an eye out for is if price does hit liquidity right here. If it hits liquidity, it's probably going to push down to the next level. And it's probably going to confirm the shift in bias from indecisive to a sell. All right, so currency.com is back up. Thanks, D, for letting us know. Thanks, Maddie. Yeah, you too. We'll just stick with the water for now. We'll see where it moves from here. And then after that, I'll go back to currency. Here we go. As price hits liquidity. It didn't break below it, but it did touch it. So let's see if it breaks below and tests these. There we go. Broke right there. Let's see if it tests this area below. If it confirms below opening price, and we'll start looking for some sells. All right, so as you can see, price came down and tested this area right here, which is exactly what we were looking for. We need to close below. So if it closes below, retest it, and it comes back down lower, then it's going to confirm the direction. And yes, this was a triple confluence right here, Charles. Yeah, market is slow today, Steven. So probably better to pick back up tomorrow. For the breakout, we didn't take it today because obvious reasons. Monday. I think it did play out though because we did mark it up this morning, but I took it off before it finished. Man, this thing did not confirm below it. Yeah, no, exactly. Nick said, it's slow and triple confluence goes into DD immediately. I think it probably hit TP already though, now, right? So like this is the entry right here. Yeah, it already hit TP, Nick. So this trade would have been done. The triple confluence. Yeah, it already hit TP. Right there. Yeah, you just gotta be really quick with it though. Yeah, thanks, Fahad. Yeah, Fahad said data missing on currency.com from 6:36 to 7:07. So maybe stay on a wanted for this morning. Yeah, and I agree. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna stay on here because we're gonna be missing all of the different high-low points for liquidity. All right, so here we go. As price starts to drop below it. We just need the confirmation right there. All right, so price closed below the opening price. Let's see if it retests it like it did right there. There's a retest. And if it confirms, it'll probably keep pushing. All right, so let's see if it confirms below here. If it does, then that'll be great. Start looking for some sells. It does have liquidity at the bottom too, so if it pushes down even lower, it'll just keep dropping from there. Yeah, Barack said, unfortunately, we don't have an indicator for manipulation, right? Yeah, I mean, you got to be an indicator for that, just confirming where the fundamentals and everything are sitting. Because the thing is, like, we knew price was going to come down. It was just a matter of time, and here we go, it comes back down. So it didn't complete that retest that we were looking at. You can see price closed below, then it closed right back above. It didn't necessarily bounce right off the opening price. Exactly, closed above it, Maddie. So we got to wait for it to come back down and confirm that retest. Oh, nice. So Matt said he uses vector candles from Trader Reality for manipulation. Never heard of that. Probably take a look at it later. But it's pretty easy to identify manipulation. Like if everything's pointing toward the selling price is going up, it's obviously manipulation, right? Um, so I mean, I think it's easier to just look at it that way because you don't want to depend on indicators like that for specific manipulation when you can just use the raw data yourself to identify it. But if it works, it works. You know, whatever works best for you guys, continue to use those. Gotcha. Yeah. Matt said it's mostly for tick volume traded in candles to show market makers getting busy. Yeah, no, and that's a good way to use it too, to identify certain things, you know, specific things in the market, not as a whole, but a specific thing to identify manipulation. Yeah, Maddie said struggling to close below. And pretty much the pattern here, guys, it hasn't completed the one that we're looking for to confirm the drop below. Last thing you want to do is enter trade and then it spikes all the way back up, right? You want to make sure that it's actually going to be below here. It's going to be very key. All right, there we go. As price drops below, it's closed below. Let's see if it retests or if it just drops straight down to the liquidity. But even so, there's no entries available. So even if we were to get, you know, if we were to look for something, there'd be nothing for us to enter right now. All right, so one thing to look out for is going to be this area of liquidity right here. But best case scenario, you want to see that retest the opening price and then come back down. That'd probably be a better situation so that we can have an actual entry to take for the sell here. So the market is pretty much dead right now. It's not really doing much. So if you guys can see the candles here, there you go. It's retesting above. There we go. Let's see if it rejects right off the opening price. We're seeing that follow through. All right, so as you can see, price is now just consolidating within this area. As it came back to the retest, it's now just going sideways right here, but these candles are extremely small. So like measuring each body of the candle, it's moving like less than 100 pips, which is way too small. You want some sort of volume, like at least some volume to push price around. We'll keep watching to see where it confirms. I'm probably gonna wait for it to come back and retest that opening price before it comes down lower, or it might just break down below here, hit liquidity, and push even further. Yeah, and there you go. It's starting to push. Exactly. Maddie said I can see consolidating and prepping for a breakout. So here it goes. Price finally broke out to the downside. Let's see if it breaks through here. If not, be a fake out, come back up. There you go. But I wouldn't hop in just yet. Obviously, there's no entry that's available. You need to wait for an actual entry. Yeah, exactly, Solange. Fake out right there. That's why you guys want to wait because it hasn't finished its move yet. So as usual, we're still waiting for it. All right, so let's see if price comes back up and retest the opening price. I mean, as you can see, price is still pretty, it's not really moving very much. But that fake out did play out right there. That's why you guys want to wait for actual entry. Don't just chase it just because it's hitting liquidity. You want to actually wait for some sort of entry to come up, an official entry. So here we go as it pushes up. It's probably going to retest opening price and we'll probably see it come back down. Hopefully by then we'll have like one entry to take. But if not, we're going to be very patient with these entries here. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said, I think this buy V3 will push back to opening price for the retest. And I can see that too. There he goes. It shoots up. And this is why you guys don't want to chase it. So right there is a retest of the opening price. Let's see if it closes below it. It probably will. And then it'll probably come back down. So there we go as it closes below it. Man, this market's crazy. Look how far it's pushing up again. Now I wouldn't be surprised if it comes right back down and closes as a red candle. If it closes as a red candle, I don't think I would take it as a V3. Exactly, yeah. No, definitely, Maddie. Huge retrace. All right, so let's see what happens here. I mean, it's just market's not really doing uh it's not really moving directional. It's in a huge range. So again, right here, this if price might probably come back down. This was just another fake out. So it came down, faked out to the upside, and faked out up here, and it's probably gonna come right back down. But yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be a matter of, it's gonna come down again right here. So if it comes down below here, it'll probably finish this actual pattern. It didn't actually finish it earlier. It came up, it didn't actually test it. It tested it right here, but it didn't continue dropping. So what might happen is it'll come down, come back for the retest here a second time, and then drop back below. But I mean, we'll see. This is why you guys want to be very careful trading on not just a Monday, but a day like today, where there's a lot of war news that came out over the weekend, a lot of sanctions on Russia. So we'll see where this goes from here. Matt's asking if the alerts are helpful for me. I mean, sort of. It depends if you're looking for like, something specific, but I do like having the alerts there to let me know when like momentum is swinging one way. So, I mean, they are useful to me, especially if I'm looking for an entry because we need a retracement signal. If I get an alert, I'll know when the retracement signal is coming. So they are helpful to me, but I mean, it just depends on the person, right? They could be helpful to me, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be helpful to everyone else. So for me, yeah, but for others, maybe not so much. Just depends on what you're using it for. Matt said, cool question. Cool. Sorry, questions during the trading is X, but this market is. Yeah, no, exactly. So, I mean, if you guys have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. The market really isn't giving us anything to enter. So, like, like Matt said, he's just asking questions that we don't normally answer during the live session, but the market is just not really, I mean, it's kind of dead right now. It's just ranging back and forth. There's no clear direction. Obviously, the direction is going to be for a sell today, but it just isn't. It's not going that direction just yet. You can kind of see the pattern right here. Price is now dropping below, and it can be confirming, but it just hasn't confirmed it yet. So instead of being risky, we're going to be safe, and we're just going to wait for some sort of confirmation here until we can start looking for sells. And even if that was the case, there's no sells here that were available anyway, so we wouldn't be able to take it to begin with. So it's going to be a matter of waiting here. We're looking for neither of those, Rick. You can see that I have markup right here, Rick. We're looking for it to come down, retest, and come back down. We're not looking for any strong candle. We're just looking for it to close below, retest the opening price, and come back lower. We're not looking for anything strong. You just need a confirmation of a break and retest. That's really what it is. Because you can see here that the pattern hasn't played out. If it played out already, it'd be coming down, but it hasn't played out. So that's why it's still just ranging within this area. So until this plays out, I'm not going to confirm that it's actually going to continue dropping just yet. And you can see right here, price is going to push up even higher from this this high. And there you go. broke right through it. Ray said, thanks, sorry, I fell asleep. Yeah, I mean, this market is just kind of dead. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. If the market doesn't pick up like around like 740 or so, we might just sit out the day, because this isn't the type of market that you guys want to be trading in anyways. I don't want to tempt you guys to take any trades. We usually end up taking some FOMO trades toward that time anyway. So feel free to drop any questions that you guys have. But if we don't see anything until around like 740, we're probably going to hold off, because you guys have seen this before. Like, it's been a couple of Mondays ago where we waited for a trade until like 740. As soon as that trade came, we kind of jumped into something that was risky, and then we ended up losing. So instead of risking, a loss, we're probably just going to sit out the day, which is fine, because it's still Monday, guys. We have a whole week ahead of us. There's no need to force any trades. I did take one trade pre-market. I'll share those profits with you guys later, but right now, it's just going to be a matter of waiting for the confirmation, because we're definitely looking for sells, but price just hasn't dropped below. So you can see right here, we're still waiting for this pattern to play out. It just hasn't played out yet. Once it plays out, we can start looking, but at the moment, there just isn't anything for us to take. Javier is asking, how's the weather down there? It's not bad, actually. It's free. It's all right. It's like, I mean, it's cold, but it's sunny. And I mean, usually the weather is a determining factor on how the market moves. But I think today it's just, there's just a lot of stuff that's been going on with the Ukraine-Russia stuff, and it being Monday, and everyone kind of anticipating price to drop, which is what we're waiting for. It just hasn't confirmed yet. Rick said, you prefer tequila or rum at Disneyland? Definitely tequila. Tawanji said, hearing you Maddie's analysis and watching the 10-minute set up a snipe in real time is so crazy. I made money off the analysis of price retracing and rejecting off the 10-minute pivots alone. It's beautiful. Yeah, no, definitely, Tawanji. I'm glad to see that. I mean, there's a lot of different opportunities you could have taken just by going off the analysis here. See some profits here posted by some people. So let's see, Albert here took the sell, locked in a total of 1,029. Nice work, Albert. Looking over here at Scotty. Scotty locked in a total of 788. Nice work, Scotty. Charles over here locked in a total of 405 for the day. Nice work, Charles. And Eunice over here as well. Eunice locked in a total of 508. So great work, guys. A lot of you guys are taking trades based off my analysis, not specifically off any entries. And I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here locking in some profit off that. So great work, guys. Let's see, we got a couple more profits here from Joshua. So let's see. Yeah, so Joshua locked in a total of 378. Nice work, Joshua. All right, guys, great work, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. As I mentioned, if nothing really happens from now until 4:30 or 7:30, sorry, 7:40, we're probably going to call it a day, because you can see right here, price is now pushing back up. Price should be dropping, but it just hasn't dropped yet. It's going to drop eventually. It's just, it hasn't gotten to that point yet. Looking at the stock index, it's still pretty much red for the most part. Literally all of them down here. There's like a couple stocks here that are turning green, but they're like not even 1 point in the green. There's like one stock, which is Chevron, which is 2 points in the green, but it's not very much. Looking over here at the entire index in total, all the indexes, everything here is pretty much red. So price should be dropping. It just hasn't dropped yet. Last thing you want to do is get caught in some manipulation here. So Jonathan over here sent in his profits. He took a sell as well, locked in at 378. Nice work, Jonathan. And there you go. Price isn't really doing much. So I'll hang around for a bit, guys. If you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Looks like we might be having our group mentoring session on Friday, so Kenny can attend. But other than that, I don't really see anything happening here aside from price being manipulated back to the upside before it comes back down. Yeah, it's long. You said sentiment went from 59 to 61% long. Weird ass market today. I agree. And this is why I'm being careful and just deciding to sit out the market than, force something. Because when you guys start forcing trades, that's when you start to make mistakes. Like you force a trade and you might get lucky. You force another trade, you might blow your account. So don't force any trades, especially during market conditions like this, where it just isn't really clear as to where price is going, even though it should be coming down. Nice. Yeah, Charles said a 3-minute V3 hit TP, 5-minute on the way to TP. Definitely. Yeah, exactly. Rick said feels like they're trying to top pump the market to close the gap that happened yesterday. Exactly, right? Yeah, no, I saw your type there, Rick. Thanks, Maddie. Maddie said retail sentiment's currently 61% long. So we're still looking for sells here, guys. Everything's pointing towards a sell. Price is just getting manipulated to the upside. It's getting pumped up before it comes back down. Yeah, Maddie said he doubts it'll fill the gap. I doubt it too. It's too far of a push. It might keep pushing up a little higher, but I don't think it's going to fill the actual gap. Again, guys, it's 7:34 right now. So if we don't see anything within the next few minutes, we'll probably just call it a day, just to avoid us from forcing any unnecessary trades. Because I know everyone's kind of antsy to take a trade. Last thing I want to do is give you guys something risky to take, and it ends up losing. I'd rather have no losses today and then more wins for the rest of the week versus the risking one today. Jay's asking, is this considered a snipe? There's no, I don't see any snipes myself here. I don't know if you're looking on a different time frame, Jay, but there's nothing here on the 1 minute. Yeah, Talanji said no snipe. So not sure if you're looking on a different time frame or seeing things differently. Yeah, exactly. Everyone said stay tuned. Fill the gap Friday. We'll be here before you know it. Exactly. It's probably gonna fill it eventually. Maybe not today, but eventually it'll probably fill it and come back right back down. Let's see. All right, guys. So price is like super far up. I don't think price is gonna come back down below the opening price by 740. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop in the chat. Otherwise, let's see. Jeff's asking, Sean, wasn't there a V3 5-10 minute buy though? I don't know. I haven't been looking at the 5 or 10, Jeff. So, and we're not looking for buys today. The bias is to sell. So, I mean, technically, yeah, there was a buy right there. So you could have taken that if you wanted to, but I don't know if you were listening to anything I was saying earlier, but I was saying you should trade in the direction of a bias. Like you shouldn't. I mean, you could trade in both ways, and you'll probably hit profits, but it's risky when you trade both ways like that. But yeah, no, you're right. There was a 5-minute V3 right there that would have hit TP, and same with the 10-minute over here as well. They both would have hit TP, but the thing is, the bias here is all for a sell, so I'm not looking at taking any buys at the moment. Also, price hasn't really confirmed the drop, so there just isn't anything for us to take at the moment. Looks like there's new sanctions that are coming in for Russia, so we'll see where that goes. But other than that, guys, I think that's it for today. It's about to be 740. Price is way up here. I was waiting for it to come below here, close, retest the opening price and come back lower, but it hasn't done that. I don't think this is going to drop within the next 3 minutes or so. So I think we're just going to wrap up the session and avoid getting caught in these risky entries here. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out through email or Telegram. I'll be around. I'll be looking at the charts, but I don't think I'm going to be taking any trades today unless we have a strong confirmation. But I think for now, it'd be best for us to just sit out the market and wait until market moves more directional tomorrow. So other than that, guys, have a great rest of your morning. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I recommend probably just sitting out the market because everything is pointing towards a sell, but price is obviously being manipulated to the upside. If you do want to take a sell, I'd wait for price to come below here, the opening price, and then retest and come back down. I think once that happens, you're going to see a confirmation of it to keep dropping lower. Otherwise, you're probably going to see this manipulated push to the upside. And I don't recommend you guys chase this because everything's pointing towards a sell. And you can see right there, it's pushing up even higher. So other than that, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow morning for the next live session. Hopefully the market picks up a little better and it's not as manipulated. But this was kind of expected for Monday because it is Monday plus all of the updates with regard to sanctions against Russia rolled out this weekend. So other than that, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow and we'll pick back up when the market starts to move a lot smoother.